Yeah, so that's the naming convention, the table name out there, and then the name of the column in that square bracket there. And this is really simple DAX in that we just summed up, all of the sales, like I said earlier, all of the sales column. Every number here was just summed up in that formula. The same goes for profit as well. Everything on here is just summed up. Now for total transaction, each of the rows here stands for a transaction. So we're just gonna count all of the rows, where you have other ID, you can count all of the IDs, to determine how many transactions occurred. So there's different ways that you can do it. It depends on what you have. We don't have other ID with this. So, we don't have other ID. So, but what I've gone on to do, and I'll show you, is use a function called count rows that allows you to count all of the rows that you have within that data set or within that table. So I'm going to start that again. So we clicked on our create measure from the side there, click on the measure, it brings you to the formula bar. Then we have total transactions equals, so I'm starting to type count rows and I'm picking that. And you see, it's already prompting me to put the name of the table that I want to count the row of. And the table I want to be counting is my facts table, which is the sales data table, and immediately I start typing that, we see that come up. And we did say that if that's not coming up, then something's not right, that we need to fix, So, and that's just all of the formula, count the rows from this table, that's all. And we have that, done. My enter button stopped working for some reason. And we can just check that out just to validate that it worked. So I just clicked on the card visual to see if I've got value there, if it's not blank. If it was blank, then something would have been wrong. Okay, so, and this is telling us that I've got 15,000 transactions that's happened. And because it's all whole number anyway, so we don't have half transaction. So I don't expect this to be in decimal number. So that's fine. I hope that explanation is clear on how to get your total transaction.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So then we've got to calculate the average sales. So I'm creating another measure now. And we can call that average sales. Average sales. When we're doing this, we have to be mindful of abbreviations because some people may not know what that AVG is. I mean, just for an example. And I'm starting to type average, and we have the average A, average X. They all function differently. Well, for now, we need average A. The X and the A, we should learn at some point when we have instances where we'll need to use them, But for now, I want average sales, and I'm picking the sales from my sales table, sales data, and it's right down here. Closing that, and you can press enter, but yes, there we have it. Average sales, and it's already been formatted. I like to see that comma, that 1,000 separator, the comma. It just helps to read the number right. So I'm just gonna check to see that I've got Okay, so it's giving me 3.69 thousand as my average sales, which I'm happy with at the moment. Okay, so if we just start to display, gradually display, our visuals, I think that would help. So I'm going to copy and paste like 4 times now. So if I go in there, copy, click out, paste, click out, paste, then we can put key measures, from a storytelling angle, from a storytelling point of view, which should come first of all of these measures that we've created: total transactions, total sales, total profit, average sales. How should we really arrange them as good storytellers? I need help.
I think we need to start with total sales
Okay, why do you think so, sir?
because the business is interested in what are we even sold before we even talk about the profit or transaction.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Do we have any contrary opinion? I would have thought that from a storytelling point of view, I would have thought that what should come first is, okay, this is the total transaction that happened, and this is the sales that it generated, and this is the profit we've got from it, and that's just me thinking that way. Um, but yes, that's the way my brain is thinking it out. But Mr. Francis is writing that companies are interested more in the money bit, not necessarily the rest. We want to see the sales and the profits, that was made. But yeah, it's okay to consider, because this is not just about the visuals. It's also about what information, or what are we communicating, with it. And that one should be average sales. I think it's safe that average sales is the last of them all. I think these cards are too big, but I won't really bother with arrangements and stuff like that just yet. Okay, so we can do all the fine tuning later, you know. So, and that answers the first bits, what John's asking us to create an interactive dashboard. So we've done the key metrics bit of things, and now we need to put a trend graph of sales by year and month. Again, this depends on how you want to present. Trend is normally anything trend graph. Anything that shows trend is normally, did I just change something? I didn't click out. Okay, I wanted to pick this. It's normally the line charts, line chart that we use to show trend. So anytime we're asked to do work on trend, it's the line graph that, works, for that purpose. And we are considering sales. So I'm going to click on sales. And it's telling us to show sales by month and year. So I'm going into my dates table. And well, I'm considering picking dates, then seeing how I work with that. And because there's so many dates, so many data points, we can see that's all jaggled, together. We don't need the day level of things. Neither do we need quarter. We are told year and month, okay? And this is coming like this. Let me move this a little bit down. So this is coming this way, right? So I've got July 2018, then January 2019, and and on like that. We've got these arrows here, they mean something because we've got hierarchy in, the dates is in hierarchy, By the way, if you pulled your dates table in and it's showing hierarchy and you don't want um, any form of hierarchy, you can always click on the arrow button down there and change it. So at the moment it's marked as date hierarchy, but if I don't want that hierarchy, I'll just pick just the dates. And that's just for information. And you can always, take out whichever of the hierarchies you don't need, like I just did. Okay. So, but when you've got hierarchies in your work, you can always drill up or drill down. And these lighted up arrows, are used to that effect. If I click on up, it goes up to the year level, and we can see 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and if I decide to, let's say, go to the next level in the hierarchy, and this one says, click to turn on drill down. Okay, so if I do that, the next level in the hierarchy is the month level, and we see how it's displaced at month level, okay? But if I was to use this, okay, that's not really changing anything. So I'm going straight to this now. What's it saying? Drill mode is on. Click a data point to drill, okay? So there is a lot of instructions that it's already coming with, but this is not really giving the look I want. This is not the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the year from this place, from this axis rather. And what I'll do with the year, I'll use this year and I'll use year as legend. And that is me preferring to, show my information like that. You can always ask whoever is asking how they want this to be presented. There's different ways that this can be done, but I'm just saying this is the way that I would love to do it. So 2018, we can see the legends. The light blue color there is for 2018. They're almost overlapping, but we can still see which year is which. You can change the color lines to what you prefer. And in 2021, the last year, we have just January and February data for those for that year, and that's why the 2021 line is that short, So sometimes when you put the month in, it's not sorted the way you want it to be sorted. If you decide to sort months by maybe ascending order, it would sort it by name, maybe those ones that start with A. So you'll be seeing here April, August, and on like that. But that's not the way you want your data presented. You want January, February, and on and on. So sometimes it's good to come to your month down here, and you want to click on the month and come here to say you want this month to be sorted by the month number. That's why the month number is important in your date table. Okay, that I want this to be sorted by the month number, because month number already associates 1 with January, 2 with February, then you can then use that to sort. But we don't have that problem at the moment, so we are fine. I'm just saying it's a problem that can actually occur. So if it does, we'll know what to do. Any questions on this trend line, this trend graph rather, at all? Okay.
Oh, yes, Sister Debbie, I just want to ask, based on the requirement and because the line graphs are overlapping, would it have been acceptable if one has used what's it called, had plotted total sales against year, and use the month as a tooltip or some standard tooltip. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I just thought of that now. That would be acceptable.
I mean, as long as you are communicating and the people you are showing are seeing it, there isn't is an acceptable or not acceptable situation, as much as what you have, you understand it. The people you are showing understand it at a glance as well. Even before you start explaining, they already see. Then we have no worries. But if they are having to rely on tooltip, which has to, pop up before they see it, that's where my fear is with what you have just described. The way John is wanting this, according to this, is I want to already see it there as basic, year and month. Okay, so it shouldn't be tooltip that's showing me that information, because tooltip would only pop up when you are close by. So we look for another way, that tooltip would just be an additional instrument or tool to use for further info. But for the basics of that graph, I wouldn't opt for tooltip to show me that this is the year, this is the month, Do you understand what I just explained, Mr. Jide?
Yes, I did. But I also feel that the way you are also getting when you place that cursor on the graph, this is like a tooltip as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it any different from if a tooltip is created and is brought in? Because this is also a tooltip, yeah.
You see, what I mean is, without the tooltip, somebody can easily see, especially if I then put the data points, what this place is, if I put it on this graph already, somebody can already see at a glance, what this graph is. We can see at some point in May of 2018, we had some high sales happening there, without needing to bring something extra in. So tooltip should be the additional, such that, oh, okay, after seeing the basic information, then we are now seeing the additional, like we can see here now. But if my tooltip is not on it, a stakeholder should still be able to make sense, of the basic information required, which is, I want to see sales by month and year already. So if that month or the year is missing from the basic graph, and I stand to be corrected, but that I'm just saying, the way that I understand is to be done properly, or to be presented properly. Let your tooltip be something extra, that you are bringing in. Like this tooltip now is bringing the actual figures in for each data point, Is that right, sir?
Okay, all right, ma. It's all right, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, let me see if we can do one or two more things from this before we round up. This trend, no, we've done the trend. Top 10 products. Let's quickly do our top 10 products by sales profits and total transactions. Those three measures that we saw. And again, this is a comparison analysis that we're about to do now. Like I said, for trend, your line graph is the ideal, the right one to use. But for comparing, we are always in the best position to use a column graph or bar graph. Okay, so if I go for, let's say I go for this, and it's wanting us to put total transaction, total sales, and total profit, all of those three by product. I go into my products table and pick product name, and we have that, but there's a condition to it. It says top 10. Okay. Now, because I've just rammed everything, all of the three measures in, And we can see that it's easy to see two of the bar graphs of the columns. I always, make a mistake with this kind of graph. I've always known this to be like something like a bar, or it's a column graph. Okay. The third one, which is total transaction, is really tiny down there. And that's because the figures are too far apart. Total sales, we are looking at something in the region of, I think something filtered my data. Did I click on something? Something changed along the line there. Anyway. So it's because the gap between sales and the profit is not that much. But if we are comparing those two to total transaction, which is just 15,000 to millions, it's a lot. So it's hard to even see anything total transaction on there. That's number one. Number two, top 10 for profit. Top 10 product for profit is not necessarily same as top 10 for sales or total number of transactions. So how I'm proposing to get this done is if we have three different graphs, and then we can filter top 10 for each of the categories, okay? So right now, this one is total transaction by the products, okay? So, and for us to know the top 10, if we come into the filter section, and I'm on products, so I'm going to go on products. Under the filter type, if we click on there, we've got advanced filtering, basic filtering, but top 10. So I'm going for top N, and I'm putting 10 in here. And it's asking me by what value? What value do I want to top it? Transaction is what I need because I'm in the transaction visual. Okay, so I'm going to drag transaction, here. And we can see the apply filter quickly shows there. It's not grayed out anymore. So I'm going to apply that. And here we have our top 10 products by transaction. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to copy and paste this two times so that we can quickly use those for, don't mind this just yet. Like I said, we've not really done any fine tuning of anything. We're just building the actual work. So now what I'm going to do is drag total sales into the middle one and total profits into this last one. Yeah, thank you very much for that reminder. Okay, so I'll remove total transaction from here and put total sales. Okay, this is going to need to change the filter here because this filter is still telling me that it's let me even open it up and see. Yeah, so we want total, we want this to the value, the top 10 to be by total sales. So I'll take that out and bring total sales in. And the same goes for this as well. So this is total profits now. So we bring total profit in and we change this from total transaction to total profits. I'll drag total profits in there. And did I apply the filter for this side? Okay, no, I did not do this right. So let's drag sales into the middle one and apply. Yes, that's better now. Okay, what I'll do so that we can see this, and we are going to need to, do a lot of making this look nicer and more readable. And again, we don't have to cramp everything together. On one page, it's not good to put too much visual. As best practice, you know, so that whoever is looking at things is not, his or her brain is not needing to comprehend too many things, you know, at the same time. So it's good to keep it nice and simple and quite minimal. These are just for information, so one might need to reduce them, you know. But yes, this is what we've got time. This is the much rather that we've got time for today. There's still a lot to do in terms of making this look beautiful and finishing the actual work. We've done just a bit of this first part. We just need our slicers in. It says we should slice by year, country, and manufacturer. That's not hard at all. So year, country, and the manufacturer. Okay, so like I said, there's too much happening already here. But there's a way that you can do your slicer so that it's not eating up space. Okay, so I'm going to leave adding the slicers in, as that's not really a huge work to do. And maybe we'll start with that, God willing, by tomorrow, you know, and then we can probably, you know, add some color, you know, to change the colors of these bars a little bit to look a bit more beautiful than what we have right now. And we will also define what color are we using for what, you know. Why are we using whatever color we are using? Most of the time, the colors are by what your company color codes are, most of the time. But how are you, you know, communicating even with the colors as well? You know, such that anything sales on here should be a particular color. Anything transaction is a particular color. Anything profit is a particular color. So when I'm seeing profit on different visuals, they are the same color. That always helps to make an explanation easy and understanding very easy, you know, for people. But I believe I'm 3 minutes over now, so I'm going to rest my case.